Today, I invite you into a conversation that is not just about survival, but about healing. A conversation about wounds, wounds that do not bleed outwardly, wounds that no doctor's scalpel can stitch, but wounds that nonetheless change how we breathe, how we love, and how we live. I am speaking about family wounds. More specifically, I am speaking about the wounds that grow within marriage, the very place we once believed was designed to keep us safe. Marriage is one of the most sacred covenants two human beings can enter into. It is a promise of love, of partnership, of walking through life not alone, but hand in hand. Yet anyone who has ever walked the rugged path of married life knows that it is not always the rosy picture painted in romantic novels or wedding vows. Sometimes, marriage is beautiful. Sometimes, it is difficult. And sometimes, it becomes a source of wounds so deep, they threaten to harden the heart and silence the soul. But the message I want to leave you with today is this: healing is possible. Restoration is possible. Renewal is possible. And your story, yes, your story, is not over because of the pain you have walked through. Before healing, we must name the wound. Wounds in marriage take many forms. Betrayal of trust, infidelity, lies, or hidden truths that shatter the fragile glass of intimacy. Emotional neglect, that lonely silence where love used to speak, the absence of attention where once there was warmth. Harsh words and abuse, words spoken in anger that leave scars more permanent than bruises. Unmet expectations, the weight of dreams placed on the shoulders of a partner who cannot carry them. Divorce and separation, the tearing apart of what was once united, leaving hearts aching and children caught in between. Family wounds are heavy. They are not just cuts, they are burdens that echo into every corner of our lives. A wound in marriage is not just between two people, it seeps into the children, the extended family, the friendships, even the workplace. It distorts how we see ourselves, how we trust others, and how we dare to dream again. Some of you listening to this may carry wounds from years ago, wounds so deep you have tried to bury them under busyness or laughter or even new relationships. But let me tell you this: unhealed wounds do not disappear. They whisper, they remind, they flare up, until one day we realize that we must face them or remain captive to them forever. When marriage wounds us, one of the first lies we often believe is, "I am broken beyond repair." We tell ourselves we are unworthy of love. We tell ourselves the future is doomed to repeat the past. We tell ourselves that no one will understand, and so we put on masks to hide the hurt. But healing begins with rejecting this lie. You are not broken beyond repair. You are wounded, yes, but not destroyed. Like gold refined by fire, the very places where you feel most fragile can become the places where your greatest strength shines. Scars are not signs of weakness, they are proof that you survived. So how do we heal from family wounds in marriage? Healing is not a straight road. It is not a quick fix or a magic formula. It is a journey. A sacred, difficult, but transformative journey. And like every journey, it begins with a single step. 1. Acknowledgement. The first step toward healing is to face the truth. Pretending the wound is not there does not make it disappear. Sweeping pain under the rug only makes it harder to clean later. We must say, yes, I was hurt. Yes, my marriage failed me in this way. Yes, I carry wounds. Acknowledgement is not weakness, it is courage. 2. Forgiveness. Forgiveness is perhaps the most misunderstood step in healing. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting. It does not mean condoning abuse. It does not mean staying in toxic cycles. Forgiveness means releasing the grip that bitterness has on your heart. It means choosing freedom over resentment. Forgiveness is not always for the other person, it is for you. It is for your peace, your future, your healing. 3. Seeking support. No one heals alone. We need community. We need friends, mentors, counselors, and sometimes professionals who can guide us through the labyrinth of pain. Too often, pride keeps us isolated. We think, if I tell them, they will judge me. But healing loves community, because community reminds us that we are not alone. 4. Rebuilding self-worth. Marriage wounds often shatter identity. We begin to see ourselves only through the lens of failure or betrayal. Healing requires a rebuilding of self-worth. You are more than your pain. You are more than your past. You are a person of value, dignity, and potential. This rebuilding may involve rediscovering passions, pursuing dreams long abandoned, or simply learning to love yourself again. 5. Faith and hope. For many, faith becomes the cornerstone of healing. Believing that there is a higher power, a divine love, that sees your tears and holds your heart, can give strength where human strength ends. Hope is the fuel of healing, the belief that tomorrow can be better than today. Some of you may not be healing from the end of a marriage, but from the pain within an ongoing marriage. To you, I say this: healing is still possible, but it requires humility, courage, and intentional work. Couples must learn to communicate honestly, without blame but with vulnerability. They must be willing to seek help, whether through counseling, mentorship, or support groups. They must relearn the language of love, small acts of kindness, words of affirmation, patience in listening. Marriage can survive wounds. It can even thrive after them. But it requires two people willing to walk the path of healing together. For others, the marriage has already ended. Divorce, separation, or abandonment has closed one chapter. The wound feels final. But hear this, your life is not defined by the ending of that chapter. Healing after marriage means giving yourself permission to grieve what was lost, while still believing in what can be gained. It means refusing to let bitterness write the rest of your story. It means opening your heart again, not necessarily to another marriage right away, but to joy, to peace, to possibility. When one person heals, the ripple spreads. A healed parent raises healthier children. A healed spouse creates a healthier community. A healed heart inspires others to believe that they too can heal. Imagine a world where wounded marriages are not left in silence, but are met with compassion and restoration. Imagine families where children grow up not in the shadow of unresolved bitterness, but in the light of forgiveness and resilience. Your healing is not just about you, it is about generations after you. Healing is not easy. It is not instant, but it is worth it. The greatest courage is not in never being wounded, but in choosing to heal when you are. Some of you are standing today at the edge of despair. You are asking, can I really heal? Can I ever trust again? Can I ever smile without pretending? The answer is yes. Healing begins the moment you choose not to give up. Healing begins the moment you decide that your pain will not have the last word. Healing begins the moment you believe that broken things can be made whole again. So I say to you, rise. Rise from the ashes of betrayal. Rise from the silence of neglect. Rise from the rubble of divorce. Rise from the pain of unspoken wounds. Your marriage may have wounded you, but your soul is stronger than the wound. Your story is still unfolding. Your future is not canceled. Love is still real. Joy is still possible. Healing is still within reach. As I close, let me leave you with this thought. Wounds are proof that you have lived. Healing is proof that you have overcome. In marriage, whether it has been a place of joy or of pain for you, does not define the entirety of who you are. You are more than a title. You are more than a spouse, or an ex-spouse, or a partner in pain. You are a soul with infinite worth, a heart capable of love, and a life waiting to be lived fully. Healing from family wounds, healing from marriage, is not just about surviving what hurt you. It is about reclaiming your life, your hope, and your future. So let us walk forward, not as victims of wounds, but as victors of healing. Because the truth, my friends, is this: wounds may shape us, but they do not have to define us. Healing is possible. Restoration is possible. And for you, for each one of you listening today, hope is not gone. Hope is here. Thank you.